doing this is because I want to be a world champion. Before I got in the UFC, I only wanted to fight for the UFC and I wanted to be a world champion. And that's, dating back to over a decade ago. And here we are. I have to go out there. I'm solely focused on a tough Ilya. And then I'm literally right back in the mix. And you never know what happens with the UFC and the division and injuries and things like that. I could be one win away after this for a title shot, or hey, maybe slide right into that title fight. You never know. But I have to beat him first.
Yeah. Ilia was here earlier, and he's not a man lacking in confidence. He was looking forward to Saturday. He wanted to put on that statement win. When you look at his strengths, right, he's a guy who's very highly touted in the division. These guys are saying, oh, this is a future champion and stuff like that. When you look at him, where are his strengths and where are the holes where you can have success?
Yeah, no, he's tough. That's why he's here. He's in this position for a reason. He's really well-rounded. He's good everywhere. But the holes that I do see in his game, I'm not going to tell you guys. You guys are just going to have to watch on the 24th and see how I do capitalize on that. But you never know. It's like everyone's always the next champion, the next contender, the next big thing. This is going to be a tough test for him.
He maintained he was not overlooking you, but he also was not shying away from saying, oh, but if I fight Alex, I'll beat him in 1 or 2 rounds, and he did have his eyes on that fight. Do you allow yourself to look at Alex Volkanovski, or do you just think there's no point in looking at that until I beat this guy?
Yeah, no, of course that's the ultimate goal. Whoever is holding the belt, that's who I want to fight. But I can't even get there first. He's the best, and in my mind, he's a pound for pound. I think he's 2 right now. John Jones deserves that spot, but I have to get through Ilya. I can't overlook anyone, and I never do. I'm not looking forward. I'm not looking behind. I'm solely focused on him, and Volkanovski, he's a savage, man. He is an absolute savage. So for someone to say he's going to go in there and put him away in 1 or 2, I don't know if he actually believes that. Maybe he's just saying what he thinks people want to hear.
What do you make of the Volkanovski Yair fight, and how do you see that one playing out?
Yeah, stylistically, it's a crazy fight. We know what Volkanovski is capable of. We know what Yair is capable of. It's the same type of stuff. Yair is going to come out with throwing the elusive kicks. He's really fast with those kicks, and just crafty as hell. Like, you don't know what angle they're coming in. Volkanovski just stays in his shell, really well-rounded, strong, tough. He's a champion for a reason. So it's, if Volkanovski wins, I kind of feel like I know how it's going to go. If Yair wins, we all know how it's going to go too. So it's I'm looking forward to it. I have nothing but respect for both those guys, and they're amazing people.
Gosh, you've had adversity, right, through injuries and many other things throughout your career. In your last fight, having a loss in that type of fight, it's a big moment, right? I'm just wondering, what was sort of your mindset then, and how were you able to bounce back mentally and regroup and be like, all right, let's keep moving forward, let's keep hunting for that title?
Yeah, you just, you got to deal with the cards you're dealt. And that was a shitty hand, and it was a shitty performance on my part. I give that nothing shorter than or an F. It was a big fail. It just wasn't my day for whatever reason. And I truly believe things happen for a reason. It's going to be that much sweeter when I climb back to the title. It's part of my journey. I can't dwell on the past because then there's going to be roadblocks that are in the way of your future. And I see it in fighting. I see it in a lot of different sports. When people are constantly obsessed, or not obsessed, they're just dwelling on their past failures, or they're still stuck in this last fight. I thought I won this and that. It really affects them moving forward. So you have to have a short memory, especially in this sport. And that's just, I kind of compartmentalized that, dealt with it, and moved on, because here we are. Saturday night is a tough opponent, and I'm going to do everything I need to get my hand raised on Saturday night.
And against Jair, so you quickly turned the page. How quickly was that process? Because you mentioned, how you don't like to dwell on the past.
Yeah, no, of course it's hard. Like, I don't think it's hard. I was out in Australia. it would have been a lot more sweeter with gold walking around Australia and New Zealand and stuff like that. But I was out there. I had over 50 friends and family come out. You know, I was going in and out of when we're out and about. My wife could tell. She knows me so well, and she's just like, she could tell I'm sitting there thinking about it because I was going over it, playing this in my head over and over. But she kept pulling me out of those, like, you know, kind of dark spaces, or just every emotion, like, and rightfully so. I think you have to go through that, like a grieving process. But I was just so mad. I can't even describe how pissed I was, and just angry, and just I felt like I let everyone down, and my fans and stuff like that, and family and team and coaches and just everybody. But yeah, I enjoyed the last leg of my trip, and then we went through New Zealand, the South and North Island, and yeah, just ate our way through and just enjoyed the people and the culture, and yeah, it was nothing but spectacular. I wanted to get back in there and fight ASAP, so I got home and called my manager and said I want to fight International Fight Week, and they already had plans for me, so I said, send me the contract.
Yeah. Is this the type of opponent that you wanted on your return, like someone right at the top just so you maintain that status? Or did you ever think of maybe taking a step back, sort of like a tune-up, you know, should I say? You know, some fighters go that route as well. I'm wondering what your thought process was.
Yeah, you must not have followed my career, you know. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, look at the opponents. I've never had no one's ever thrown me a bone in this organization. They feed me straight killers. They feed me the next big thing, the guy that's going to be the next big champ on this win streak, and then I'm the one that has to go in there and spoil their plan. And I knew I was going to get a tough opponent, you know. My ranking, I knew I'd fight Ilia eventually, just because I see him up and coming, and he's well-rounded, and stylistically this is a great matchup. You know, it is a great matchup. I finally don't have to fight someone taller than me, and yeah, it's going to be great. So I'm looking forward to it, and this is on primetime television, ABC. You know, I've checked off Fox, pay-per-view events, ESPN, and now we're on, you know, the wide world of sports.
And lastly, have you gotten to let yourself kind of envision the path back to the belt? Like, what kind of does it look like? Obviously, beating Ilia is the first step, but then after that, is it one more win, two more wins, against who as well? Like, how do you see yourself getting into a title fight?
Yeah, no, that's definitely on the horizon, but I'm solely focused, laser focused on Ilia right now, because none of that matters if I don't get the job done on Saturday. We'll cross that road when we get there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, yes, I know you said earlier that you're looking forward to Jacksonville. You know, what's your first impression of your first time here on the First Coast?
Yeah, so far I haven't seen a whole lot. You know, we landed. We got our shuttle here, and you know, the hotel's amazing. The view's amazing. We're right here on the river with, you know, a nice little skyline. I haven't got to check out the food scene or done any of that, but I do have, you know, the best in the game perfecting athletes, and Dr. Michelle, and she's out here making, you know, delicious meals for me. So I'll check out Jacksonville after I get the win on Saturday.